Earlier this year, MetaZoo announced for the first time they were going to do NFT PFPs, and they were going to mint 5,000 of them. Now, they went on sale July 15th, and there was no public sale a couple of days later because they sold out. They all stayed as animated chaos crystals until they all hatched July 22nd. Now, in this video, I'll give you a few random but cool and interesting facts about the current PFPs that exist. After that, I want to switch gears and talk about the exclusive PFP boxes that are actually going to be going on sale this Sunday, December 11th. Welcome to Tormentic Talks. Now, like I was saying, back in July, 5,000 of these PFPs were actually minted. Now, I was actually able to talk to Jet Yates at CryptidCon. Jet is the artist that actually illustrated all of the PFP Beastie bases along with all of the attributes. Now, one of the really cool things she was telling me was that there are only 250, roughly, a little bit more than that, different illustrations that were drawn for all of the PFP beasties and the attributes. And that's because the beasties themselves were separate, and then each individual attribute was actually drawn itself as well. Now, another really interesting fact is that no one knew what any of these beasties were going to look like until they actually hatched. They did put algorithms in there and say how many of what percentage for a different attribute would be where, but there was no direct direction on how these beasties were going to be made, which actually makes the PFPs really cool in my opinion, because MetaZoo literally had to wait for them to hatch before they even saw what any of them looked like. Now, of course, Mothman, being the diva that it is, all of its attributes had to be resized just because it's ever so slightly smaller, if I remember, than the rest of the beastie PFPs. But I thought that was really interesting that the PFPs themselves, the way that they were created and put together, was completely randomized. There was no individual person being like, this goes with that, that goes with this. Now, the original PFP post that was on the MetaZoo website says, with 3 new sets being introduced each year, 1,000 new PFPs will be minted with each new set, introducing completely new characters. The catch? You can only mint a new set PFPs if you own one of the original 5,000. It's one of the reasons why there was such a clamor to get them back in July. Now, it goes further and it says, each year's set of collectible cards will reflect those PFPs released for that year's set. Now, it did mention Cryptid Nation 1, the base set, Nightfall, Wilderness, UFO, Hero Quest, and Seance. Now, we know that the first 5,000 PFPs were from Cryptid Nation 1, Nightfall, and Wilderness. It has been confirmed that there will be redeemable cards for UFO and for Seance, but I have a theory that they probably might have included Hero Quest because it's MetaZoo. You never know, they like to surprise us. So I honestly think that these boxes will be, like I said, UFO, Seance, and I wouldn't be surprised if Hero Quest got thrown in there also. Cryptid Nation News and EpicTube HD are making videos about how to tie your wallet to the MetaZoo website, so I'm not actually going to go into detail on that. Definitely go and check out their videos once they get released. So I'm not really going to go into much detail about that. I just want to answer some questions that I saw being posted in the Discord a lot today. Now, these boxes will contain 6 booster packs. In those 6 booster packs, you will find 10 cards each, so that's 60 cards per box. The boxes also come with a physical coin that resembles one of the many NFT coins that MetaZoo has created. And yes, before you ask, that does include the error ones as well, too. That was confirmed today. They go live on the MetaZoo Marketplace at 12 p.m. Sunday, December 11th. There was no indication of a window of sale. The boxes are gated, so that means only people who own PFPs can actually access that. And each PFP opens you up to being able to buy 2 of these boxes. So for example, if you own 10 PFPs, you can buy 20. If you own 4 PFPs, you can buy 8, etc., etc. I was told that this drop would follow standard MetaZoo parameters for a drop. I will say that NFT drops usually last for, it seems, about a week on the marketplace, so I would assume that this would probably be up for at least 2 to 5 days, but again, I'm not entirely sure. This is a brand new, unique type of product, so we don't really know what the drive and the demand will actually be. On top of, also, it is gated. You have to own a PFP in order to buy one of these. Now, talking timeline-wise and when it would actually be shipped, I'm going to say that I want to say it's probably going to be somewhere around April, to be honest with you. The quality of this product, from what I was told and what I've actually was seeing explained today in the Discord, is pretty phenomenal. And I'm actually going to quote CCE here, and he said, between the multiple different holographic pattern formats, the serialized cards, and unique rarity tiers, it definitely will be an exciting product. They explained a couple different times of some of the exclusivity that this actually will have. Some of the one of 1 cards, the one of 100 cards, the one of 10 cards. I think I saw that it was confirmed that there are 7 different holographic patterns for these cards as well too. There was also other ways that you could redeem NFTs, PFPs, besides pulling an actual redemption card. We don't have any more information on that, but that's actually kind of cool that there are multiple ways of getting them. If you are one of those people that are super lucky and able to get one of those redeemable cards, it will work the same way as the Revive skateboards. There will be a code. You will actually have to get the code off, put the code in, and they will airdrop the actual PFP to your wallet once it's been confirmed. And that's something else I really want to stress again too, is the quality of these actual cards too. These are not going to be usual MetaZoo cards, which actually have a pretty high standard right now. These are going to be more similar to a Topps card from what I've actually been explained. And I'm honestly excited that the quality of these, and they actually can take their time to make these right, because again, this is such a unique product, because you'll have physical redeemable cards for NFT PFPs. You'll have one of 1 serialized cards. You'll have a bunch of different stuff with this, so it's going to be super unique. It was also stated too that if less than the 10,000 boxes, because you got to think, if there are 5,000 original PFPs and then everybody's able to buy 2 boxes, then that means that there potentially could be 10,000 boxes roughly that would be made to print. And it was stated that if less than the 10,000 are ordered, that the pull rates for the redeemable cards will remain the same, which is really cool and interesting, because it means that they're at such a process, at an early stage right now with this, that they can actually make adjustments to actually keep it fair across the board. It's like I said, even if you don't pull one of those redeemable cards, there are still tons and tons and tons of value in these, I think. Now, the price point for these are $100 a box, which you might think is steep at the beginning, but then you need to realize, like I said, the quality of these cards and the value that some of these will hold. I mean, even if you don't pull a PFP redeemable card, the cards that you pull out of here will be some of the rarest actually in MetaZoo history. I mean, you got to remember that there's only a grand total of maybe 10,000 boxes roughly that's going to actually be made. So that means that there's only 600,000 cards roughly of this set that will actually be made. Now, if you compare that to Seance, the most recent set, which even had a lower print run than the last 2, that's 50,000 booster boxes, but each booster box of Seance is 36 packs. This will only have 6 packs in it. That's one of the reasons why I say the exclusivity of it, and the reason why these cards will retain value is because there aren't going to be that many of these circulating around, and these are going to be a higher quality, a higher tier of card, if you will, than anything MetaZoo's actually made sense. I mean, if you add the NFT PFP redeemable cards on top of serialized cards, on top of 7 different types of holographic patterns in this set, plus other ways besides pulling a redeemable card to redeem an NFT PFP, this set has a lot of value in it, and I really think that a lot of people are going to sleep on it, and they're going to regret it come 4 or 5 months from now. Something else to keep in mind as well is that partners do not get allocations for this. The only people, like I said, that actually will have the opportunity to purchase this are going to be people who own a PFP. You will have to tie that to the marketplace and prove that you own a PFP in order to buy any of these boxes. Now, I am not a financial advisor, but my advice to you is if you can afford it. Like I said, I know it's $100 a box, and depending on how many PFPs you own, that could be a good chunk of money. But if you can afford it, I would recommend buying as many of these as you can, even if you sit on them, just because they will retain value because of being gated. And on top of it too, this is the only way of being able to redeem or even have an opportunity of getting any of the new age 2nd generation PFPs. And there's so many different secrets I think that they're going to hide in this. Like I said, I have a strong feeling I think HeroQuest is actually going to have PFPs in it. I think there will be some sort of tie to HeroQuest with some of the serialized cards. I mean, if you think about the first one, it was Cryptid Nation, Nightfall, and Wilderness. It would make sense for them to do another 3-set block, if you will, with Seance, UFO, and HeroQuest. But my name is Dramatic. Thanks so much for checking this out. I hope this answered some questions that you actually had. Leave a comment down below if this actually helped. And remember, if you actually do pull the Cowboy Cumberland, hit me up because I want that card.